Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Anita Anand with the Midday News. The headlines. Government decides to extend national lockdown till 3rd May. Relaxations with certain conditions may be allowed after April 20th at places without hotspots. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says guidelines will be issued tomorrow. Holistic and integrated approach controlled the spread of COVID-19 in the country, says Prime Minister. Prime Minister seeks people's support on 7 fronts, including taking care of the elderly, maintaining social distance, wearing face masks. Procurement of wheat for current Rabi season to begin tomorrow. Nation remembers Bharat Ratna Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar on his 129th birth anniversary today, and President, Vice President and Prime Minister greet the nation on various New Year harvesting festivals. The government has decided to extend lockdown till the 3rd of May. Addressing the nation today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said stakeholders, including states and people, have favoured extension of the lockdown. Mr. Modi said integrated and holistic approach has helped India to handle the situation properly. He further said tight vigil will be kept on all hotspots and containment zones, and strict implementation of the lockdown will be ensured in the coming days so that the virus does not spread to new areas. He added that all districts, localities and states will be closely monitored over its performance with respect to implementation of lockdown norms and management of hotspots till the 20th of April.
सारे सुझावों को ध्यान में रखते हुए ये तय किया गया है कि भारत में लॉकडाउन को अब 3 मई तक और बढ़ाना पड़ेगा। यानी 3 मई तक हम सभी को, हर देशवासी को लॉकडाउन में ही रहना होगा। इस दौरान हमें अनुशासन का उसी तरह पालन करना है जैसे हम करते आ रहे हैं। मेरी सभी देशवासियों से ये प्रार्थना है कि अब कोरोना को हमें किसी भी कीमत पर नए क्षेत्रों में फैलने नहीं देना है।
The Prime Minister said after the 20th of April, states which do not have hotspots or which have not allowed hotspots to come up, they could be allowed with certain conditions to let some important activities resume. He stated that the government will come out with extensive guidelines tomorrow on the extended lockdown. He further said while making new guidelines, the government has kept in mind the interests of the poor and daily wage workers.
साथियों, 20 अप्रैल से चिन्हित क्षेत्रों में इस सीमित छूट का प्रावधान हमारे गरीब भाई बहनों की आजीविका को ध्यान में रखते हुए किया गया है। जो रोज कमाते हैं, रोज की कमाई से अपनी जरूरतें पूरी करते हैं, वही मेरा एक बृहद परिवार है। मेरी सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकताओं में एक इनके जीवन में आई मुश्किल को कम करना है। प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण योजना के माध्यम से सरकार ने उनकी मदद करने का हर संभव प्रयास किया है। अब नई गाइडलाइंस बनाते समय भी उनके हितों का पूरा ध्यान रखा गया है।
The Prime Minister said India's fight against coronavirus is going on very strongly and people have saved the country while facing difficulties. He said for the sake of the country, people are performing their duties like disciplined soldiers. Mr. Modi said the display of the collective strength of the people is a tribute to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar on his birth anniversary today. Speaking on the lockdown, the Prime Minister said it has proved to be effective in the containment of COVID-19. He lauded the patience and discipline of citizens in making the lockdown successful. Mr. Modi said early preparedness helped the country in effective containment of infection. He sought people's support in 7 things, including taking care of the elderly, maintaining social distancing and helping the poor.
7 बातों में आपका साथ। पहली बात, अपने घर के बुजुर्गों का विशेष ध्यान रखें। दूसरी बात, लॉकडाउन और सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग की लक्ष्मण रेखा का पूरी तरह पालन करें। तीसरी बात, अपनी इम्यूनिटी बढ़ाने के लिए आयुष मंत्रालय द्वारा जो निर्देश दिए गए हैं उसका अगर हम पालन करें, गर्म पानी है, काढ़ा है, इनका निरंतर सेवन करें। चौथी बात, कोरोना संक्रमण का फैलाव रोकने में मदद करने के लिए आरोग्य सेतु मोबाइल ऐप जरूर डाउनलोड करें। पांचवी बात, जितना हो सके उतने गरीब परिवार की देखरेख करें, उनके भोजन की आवश्यकता पूरी करें। छठी बात, आप अपने व्यवसाय, अपने उद्योग में अपने साथ काम करे लोगों के प्रति संवेदना रखें, किसी को नौकरी से न निकालें। सातवीं बात, देश के कोरोना योद्धाओं, हमारे डॉक्टर, नर्सेस, सफाई कर्मी, पुलिसकर्मी, ऐसे सभी लोगों का हम सम्मान करें, आदर पूर्वक उनका गौरव करें।
He also urged people to respect corona warriors, doctors, nurses, sweepers and police personnel. He appealed to citizens to be kind to their workers in their business and industry and not to terminate them in case of financial hardships. The Prime Minister said the harvesting season is going on in the country right now and requested state governments to see to it that the farmers of the country are not subjected to hardships.
इस समय रबी फसल की कटाई का काम भी जारी है। केंद्र सरकार और राज्य सरकारें मिलकर प्रयास कर रही हैं कि किसानों को कम से कम दिक्कत हो। साथियों, देश में दवा से लेकर के राशन तक पर्याप्त भंडार है। सप्लाई चेन की बाधाएं लगातार दूर की जा रही है। हेल्थ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के मोर्चे पर भी हम तेजी से आगे बढ़ रहे हैं।
The Prime Minister said screening at airports began even before any case of COVID-19 surfaced in the country. He said holistic and integrated approach and timely decisions have put the country in a much better position compared to most of the developed countries in terms of the number of people infected.
Home Minister Amit Shah has assured the people that there is enough stock of food, medicines and other essential commodities. He said no one should worry for the extended period of lockdown. In a series of tweets, the Home Minister also appealed to the affluent people to help the needy living nearby. Praising the role of the state governments, Mr. Shah said, the way all the state governments are working with the central government is truly praiseworthy. He said we have to intensify the coordination so that all the citizens follow the lockdown properly and no citizen should have the problem of the things they need. The Home Minister said the contribution of doctors, healthcare workers, sanitation workers, police and all the security personnel who are playing an important role in this fight is very touching. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu today said Prime Minister's announcement to extend the lockdown reflects the concerns of the people. In a series of tweets, he said it is now in the hands of the people to ensure desired results from Lockdown 2.0. He appealed to everyone to rise to the occasion with enhanced commitment to beat the challenge of the virus. Mr. Naidu said Prime Minister's announcement is the best possible course in the given circumstances. He said PM has duly articulated concerns about the livelihoods of vulnerable sections, assuring that they will be taken care of in the best possible way.
Director of All India Institute of Medical Sciences, AIIMS, New Delhi, Dr. Randeep Guleria, has said that extension of lockdown was necessary and it will be effective in containing COVID-19 in the country. Speaking exclusively to AIR News, Dr. Guleria said the basic aim of extension is that hotspots don't increase and the number of cases come down.
So I think the extended lockdown is very well needed and this should be very effective. As the Prime Minister rightly said, we have to have the lockdown in a more aggressive manner in the hotspots. The basic aim is that hotspots don't increase and number of cases in hotspots start coming down. If you are able to achieve that in the next week or 10 days, I think then we are on the right track. Currently, we have to be aggressive in social distancing, hand washing and quarantine, and this is more and more important in the hotspots.
Dr. Guleria appealed to citizens to observe the lockdown sincerely. Member Health in Niti Aayog, Dr. V.K. Paul said the decision is very logical and it is in the interest of the nation. Speaking exclusively to AIR News, Dr. Paul said India is moving to the next phase of the national endeavour. He said 3 weeks of lockdown have been effective and the extension announced today will help in flattening the curve.
This decision is very logical. This is in the interest of the nation. And as we move into this phase, the Prime Minister has also articulated how the relaxation in the individual areas would be planned out, would be decided. So we moved into the next phase of our national endeavor. And in a way, it is a calibrated response to the ground situation, taking into account all aspects of the nation today.
All passenger train services of Indian Railways, including premium trains, mail, express, passenger and suburban trains, Kolkata Metro Rail, Konkan Railways and other such passenger services will continue to remain suspended till the midnight of 3rd of May. Railway Ministry announced this after the nationwide lockdown was extended till 3rd of May by the Prime Minister.
The Centre has asked states and union territories to check hoarding and ensure fair prices of essential commodities during the lockdown. Consumer Affairs Minister Ramvilas Paswan held a meeting with state and union territories Ministers of Food and Public Distribution through video conference. He directed that micro-level plans should be initiated to ensure that essential commodities are available at fair price in the local markets. Mr. Paswan said the states have been empowered under the Essential Commodities Act to ensure its compliance. He directed that all arrangements are undertaken to commence wheat procurement for the Rabi market season 2020-21 from tomorrow. The minister underlined that social distancing norms are strictly followed during the procurement. He said a duty roster for staff, workers and labourers should be prepared by all procurement centres, go-downs, offices and ensure that there is no shortage of labour. Mr. Paswan said all states and union territories have been provided with enough food grain stocks to fulfill the targets under the Prime Minister Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana. Under the scheme, all PDS beneficiaries will be provided with 5 kilogram food grains per person free of cost.
President, Vice President and Prime Minister today paid tributes to Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar on his birth anniversary today. President Ramnath Kovind paid tributes to Baba Sahib at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. The President said our nation's icon and chief architect of the Constitution, Baba Sahib, strived for a society based on justice and equity. Let us all take inspiration from his vision and values and resolve to imbibe his ideals in our lives. The Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu paid floral tributes to Baba Sahib Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar on his Jayanti at Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Conference Hall, Up Rashtrapati Bhavan. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said Dr. Ambedkar gave new vision to the country after independence. He said Dr. Ambedkar always focused on equality and social harmony.
President Ramnath Kovind has greeted the nation on Vishu, Rongali Bihu, Noboborsho, Vaishakhadi and Tamil Puttanda. In his message, the President has said these festivals symbolize unity and cultural diversity of India. He asked people to observe these festivals while reiterating the collective resolve to defeat COVID-19. Vice President Venkaiah Naidu has also greeted the nation on the festivals being celebrated across the country today. In his message, Mr. Naidu hoped for the health and happiness of people. He said on this auspicious occasion, people should show their goodwill by maintaining social distance and celebrating at home. Prime Minister Narendra Modi in his message has wished these festivals deepen the spirit of brotherhood in India. He hoped that they also bring joy and good health and people get more strength to collectively fight the menace of COVID-19 in the times to come.
You're listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. The headlines once again. Government decides to extend national lockdown till 3rd of May. Relaxations with certain conditions may be allowed after 20th of April at places without hotspots. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says guidelines will be issued tomorrow. Holistic and integrated approach controlled the spread of COVID-19 in the country, says Prime Minister. Prime Minister seeks people's support on 7 fronts, including taking care of the elderly, maintaining social distance, wearing face masks. Procurement of wheat for current Rabi season to begin tomorrow. Nation remembers Bharat Ratna Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar on his 129th birth anniversary today. And President, Vice President and Prime Minister greet the nation on various New Year harvesting festivals. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
The News Services Division of All India Radio and its Samyaki program today will bring you an exclusive interview with Ministry of Ayush Secretary Vaidya Rajesh Kotecha. This can be heard tonight on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 7:40 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.com and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You can also follow us on the News on AIR app for updates.
The News Services Division of All India Radio in its bilingual live phone-in program today will bring you a special discussion program on COVID-19. Dr. Manoj Nesari, Advisor, Ayurved, Ministry of Ayush, will participate in the discussion. Listeners can ask questions from the experts on toll-free telephone number 1800115767. Repeat, 1800115767. You can also ask questions on the telephone number 01123314444. We repeat, 01123314444 and post queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This can be heard tonight on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:25 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.com and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You can also follow us on the News on AIR app for the updates.
A total of 1,211 new confirmed cases of novel coronavirus have been reported in the country during the last 24 hours, taking the total number of cases to 10,363. Health and Family Welfare Ministry said 1,036 patients have been cured so far. During the last 24 hours, 31 deaths have been reported, taking the nationwide toll to 339. The Indian Council of Medical Research is continuously scaling up its testing facilities for COVID-19 by giving approval to government and private laboratories. Till now, 166 government laboratories, 3 collection centres and 70 private laboratory chains have been given approval to conduct the test for COVID-19.
A total of 356 new confirmed cases of novel coronavirus have been reported in Delhi during the last 24 hours, taking the total number of cases to 1,510. The Delhi government has confirmed that 31 patients have been cured and discharged and 28 deaths have been reported in the national capital. A total of 62 cases are under investigation and 15,032 tests have been conducted so far. Delhi government has declared 47 hotspots so far. In Andhra Pradesh, Poti Sri Ramulu Nellore district registered the first COVID death when a city-based doctor undergoing treatment at a Chennai hospital died yesterday. With this, the toll rose to 8 in the state, while the number of positive cases has gone up to 439. Meanwhile, the state has decided to set up 22,000 YSR Janata Bazaars in villages and towns to be managed by self-help groups, which are highly useful to farmers and the public.
The severity of novel coronavirus was taken very seriously in India well before the global crisis began that led to its effective management by the visionary government. Prime Minister Narendra Modi discussed about the country's preparedness to tackle the contagion since December last year when initial cases of COVID-19 surfaced in China. Leading the way, Mr. Modi pioneered the constitution of several expert groups in order to formulate a decisive strategy to minimize the effect of coronavirus in the country. A detailed report.
Prime Minister cited Yajurved's Vayam Rashtre Jagruyam for keeping a vigil against all odds, which was followed in complete letter and spirit by government's integrated and holistic strategy buckled up well within time to combat the corona menace. When the first instance of infection surfaced in the country in the last week of January, the airports, seaports and borders were already geared up to screen travellers, which was also effectively facilitated by quarantine facility at Manesar and Chawla. Even when very little was known about this disease, roadmap on number of COVID hospitals required in case of possible outbreak was chalked out, which led to establishment of 586 such dedicated hospitals with over 1,40,000 isolation beds and 11,000 ICU beds. Country started off 39 factories for PPE and 4 for indigenous production of N95 N95 masks, gauging their requirement and our complete dependence on foreign imports for these. The proactive approach of Prime Minister ensured that the numbers of ventilators almost doubled and order for 50,000 more such ventilators was made. Anand Chaturvedi, AIR News, Delhi.
In our series, Experts Speak on All India Radio, we bring you the views of leading medical experts on COVID-19. Talking to AIR News, President of Public Health Foundation of India, Dr. K. Srinath Reddy said, India is in a much better position as compared to other countries as far as the COVID-19 cases are concerned.
We started getting affected later than many other countries, but we are presently in a much better position than the rest of the world, and in that sense, we are better protected. However, we still have to watch how the epidemic advances over the next 2 to 4 weeks before we can come to a judgment. But right now, it appears that our measures taken progressively from February and peaking with the lockdown are now paying dividends and showing results.
Talking to AIR News, Dr. B. N. Gangadhar of National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, Bengaluru, advised the people to follow the lockdown measures to check the spread of COVID-19 infection.
Keeping ourselves inside the house so that we don't get infected, and if by we getting infected, we passing on infection to more people, all this will be prevented if we very religiously follow the lockdown procedure.
Spiritual Guru Sri Sri Ravi Shankar of Art of Living Foundation has advised people not to fear and go within to counter the COVID-19 pandemic.
हम अपना थोड़ा सा साधना पर हो जाएं, अंतर्मुखी हो जाएं, थोड़ी देर बैठ के ध्यान करना शुरू करें, मौन रखें। यह समय ऐसा है और इस समय के अनुकूल हम अपने आप को ढालना पड़ेगा हमें। तो मैं सबसे ये अनुरोध करूंगा, घबराइए मत, डरने की कोई बात नहीं। अपना रोग निरोधक शक्ति बढ़ाओ, हल्दी जरूर लो, अमृत जरूर लेना, अमृत कहते हैं गिलोय सत्व है, वो जरूर लीजिए, नींबू जरूर लीजिएगा।
In an effort to guard against fake news being circulated on various platforms, we bring you a new segment on fact-checking and mythbusters. There is a misconception among the people that exposure to high temperatures can prevent COVID-19. In another tweet, the Press Information Bureau clarified that there is no scientific evidence to prove that coronavirus can be prevented in high temperature. It said that the cases of COVID-19 have been found in the countries with hot weather as well.
In Himachal Pradesh, people who were housed in the buffer quarantine centres of Una district due to COVID-19 pandemic have been allowed to return to their homes today after completing the 14 days quarantine period successfully. All these residents of Himachal Pradesh were returning to their homes and were stopped at the borders for quarantine due to the nationwide lockdown imposed in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic.
All 992 people, including children, women and elderly, have successfully completed 14 days long quarantine at the accommodation provided them in Una district. However, in compliance with the decision taken by the state government last night, the local administration allowed the residents of Una district to go home who have completed 14 days in the buffer quarantine centers. Arrangements are also being made to send the people living in other districts of the state by Himachal Road Transportation Corporation buses. These people have also issued a certificate by District Health Department about staying in the quarantine center for 14 days and being free from COVID-19. They have been also instructed to undergo home isolation for another 14 days. Sanjeev Sundariyal, AIR News, Shimla.
The ruthless containment model adopted in Bhilwara district of Rajasthan is currently the talk of the nation. Bhilwara had last month become hotbed of COVID-19 when 26 cases were reported between March 19 and 30th of March. Later, after ruthless measures were put in place, only 2 cases have been tested positive in the last 15 days. Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot has said that this ruthless containment model is being implemented at other hotspots of the state as well. More from our correspondent.
The situation in Bhilwara, which became the hotspot of COVID-19, is now fully under control. Soon after the first case surfaced here on March 19, all the routes in the entire district were sealed and the curfew was imposed. After this, 15,000 persons who came in contact with infected people were home quarantined. Hotels and private hospitals were also acquired and about 2,000 people were quarantined there. The curfew was strictly maintained and about 27 lakh people from all over the district district were screened by health department teams. Even public representatives, media and social organizations were also not allowed to come out from their respective houses. The entire Bhilwara has now just one active case, while the rest are virus-free. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Jaipur.
In Madhya Pradesh, the number of coronavirus cases in the state has gone up to 730, with 126 more people testing positive for the disease in the last 24 hours. So far, 50 people have died in the state due to coronavirus. Tikamgarh district has also reported its first case of coronavirus.
State Health Commissioner Faiz Ahmad Kidwai informed that in the last 24 hours, 1,171 people were tested for coronavirus in the state. There are total 278 containment zones formed in the coronavirus affected districts of the state. Meanwhile, reviewing the situation and arrangements for prevention and treatment of coronavirus infected people through video conferencing, Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan has asked the officers to work under a well-planned strategy to prevent the outbreak of corona and provide best treatment to victims. He said that it is necessary that available resources are used judiciously. Chief Minister instructed that apart from the big cities, the condition of Shivpuri, Khargone, Morena, Badwani, Vidisha and Raisen districts need to be constantly monitored. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
The Bihar government has given permission to restart over 27,000 industrial units in the state to restore employment generation during the lockdown. Chief Secretary Deepak Kumar said DMs have been authorized to issue permission letter in this regard to units. Chief Minister Nitish Kumar said these units have to take responsibility of the health and security of labourers. AIR correspondent reports that industrial units of essential commodities, including food processing units, will be started soon.
The state government has instructed industrial units to take health care of labourers in view of corona after engaging them. In addition to this management, the units have to adopt measures to contain coronavirus. Those workers who have symptoms of corona will not be allowed to perform their duties. If any member or labourers who had returned to the state during the last fortnight will not be permitted to work. Social distancing has to be maintained during the discharging of work by labourers. Meanwhile, the state government has ordered Khadi and Handloom Board to manufacture towels and masks at large level. This time, the board has stock of over 51,000 towels and masks over 40,000. With KK Lal's report from Patna, Renu Kataria, AIR News.
The number of coronavirus cases in Maharashtra reached to 2,455, with 121 more persons testing positive today. As many as 92 new patients were found in Mumbai alone. While fighting the epidemic coronavirus, state government is also trying to settle down the economy of the state. More from our correspondent.
A committee of 11 experts has been set up to suggest effective measures to revive the Maharashtra's economy that has been hit by the coronavirus. The committee will submit its report by April 30th. However, there would be no permission for any industrial or business activity in the Mumbai metropolitan region and Pune, which have been categorized as red zone due to a large number of coronavirus cases. Meantime, renowned and expert doctors in Mumbai have responded very positively to the call made by Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray to fight the coronavirus more aggressively. A task force of these doctors will be available through a hotline for coronavirus treatment. Similarly, Bollywood superstar Shah Rukh Khan provided 25,000 PPE kits to the frontline medical staff in Maharashtra fighting to contain the novel coronavirus pandemic in the state. Madhuri Pange, AIR News, Mumbai.
The Hyderabad-based CSIR Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology, CCMP, is trying new drugs and possible new therapies by the cell culture system for coronavirus. Director of the Premier Laboratory, Dr. Rakesh K. Mishra, informed AIR News that the cell culture system, which is in advanced stage at the laboratory, gives the researchers in vitro assay system for testing new drugs and possible therapy for coronavirus. Dr. Rakesh further informed that the cell culture system will also enable the researchers to save a few lives by adopting serological-based treatment by using antibodies of the recovered patients. He added that this method has its own limitations.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Government decides to extend national lockdown till 3rd May. Relaxations with certain conditions may be allowed after April 20th at places without hotspots. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says guidelines will be issued tomorrow. Holistic and integrated approach controlled the spread of COVID-19 in the country, says Prime Minister. Prime Minister seeks people's support on 7 fronts, including taking care of the elderly, maintaining social distance, wearing face masks. Procurement of wheat for current Rabi season to begin tomorrow. Nation remembers Bharat Ratna Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar on his 129th birth anniversary today. And President, Vice President and Prime Minister greet the nation on various New Year harvesting festivals. With that, we end the midday news.